Hello viewers, this is Dre, and I will be showing you what the Photoshop's keyboard shortcut keys and what do they do and how they're helpful. Okay, so in the beginning, when you have Photoshop screen up, on the right you'll see the layers and the color tabs, those palettes. So easy way, like if you ever lose them, you can press certain keys on top. There's F6, which is the colors tablet, and F7, which is the layers tablet. So if you ever lose them, you can just press F6 and F7 and always brings them up. And it's because these are the most common tablets everyone uses. So in there's F5, which is the brush set, and then there's F8, which is the info palette. So I don't really use those, so I keep them hidden. So now I'm going to start a new file, bring a new document up. Okay, so you see, I'm going to put brush, and you see the opacity level is 0. Well, 100 now. Okay. Now, if you put on the keyboard, on the top, where it has just the numbers, not without the F's, with the numbers itself, you can press those numbers and it changes the opacity level. So I'm going to go, see on top here, so I'm going to go on 50. Do 5, 0. Okay, wait, 5, 0. So now it's 50, and I could do 7, 5. Let's do 89, and you could do 0, 4. 0, 4. And there you go, there's 4. So I think that's a really easy way to change the opacity level. What else? And you press 0, it changes the opacity level to 100% automatically. 9, 90, 8, 60, 3, 30. Okay, you get the point. Now you go down, further down the keyboard, you press Q. That enters your quick mask mode. What that's here is like if you want to change a certain area, like change the color of, like I did previous video, change the hair color. So you can do that, press Q, toggles if it's on or off. So I think that's kind of helpful, depending what you want to do. You go right to, and do E, and that's eraser. Automatically brings you to eraser tool, so you don't have to go all the way to the left and click eraser. And keep going, and T, that's type tool, where you can just type. You can type some text, pretty much. T, it's easier when I'm going to a side. So now what? Now you go to I. I think I is helpful because if you ever lose a color and then you want it, you just press I and then just find the color. And then you press brush tool or something like that. And you get it again. Now P is pen. This is pretty self-explanatory, like T for type, E for eraser, P for pen. You'll get used to it. It's not that hard actually. And then a lot of people use pen tool, so that's kind of important. Okay, now you do A, which is the path select tool. So you can right click and you can like just edit the lines you make from pens and different other cool stuff. Okay, D is probably it's one of the most important ones, and so is X, but we'll get X later. D is, it makes the foreground automatically black and the background automatically white, so it goes back to the default color. So I'll just pick random colors, you press D on the keyboard, and brings them automatically black and white. So we don't have to physically change the colors. Just press that and things are happy. You press F now, and it changes the screen. So if you have multiple projects, like if you're in this screen and you don't know how to get to your other project, you press F a couple times and you can find that there'll be different tabs of your projects. So G is gradient or paintbrush. Okay, wherever you have up. And then you can just change the colors like that, which could be helpful for people because if you do backgrounds, then it'll be kind of helpful. H is hand tool. You can just press H and you can click and drag. It's pretty easy, but there's another thing for that. I don't like use H. L is lasso. People use lasso tools, so that's that. Okay, now X, like I said before. X means it switches your foreground layer with your background layer. So if you have this black and you have this white, let's say you're working with the white, now you want black, so you don't want to press this all the way over here. You can just press X, and then it just switches automatically, which is very helpful. Okay, V, that's the move tool. Oops. Ugh, stupid layer. Okay. Now you can just move it. This is just the same thing as up here, which is, most people have that on if they're just starting off. V is brush tool, and everyone knows what brush tool is, so. Okay, nothing's drawing. Why is that? Okay, well, keep going. Oh, that was weird. Okay, that's hand. Wow. The spacebar is also the hand tool, so if you're up close and personal. Oh, that's why. Deselect. There you go. Okay, if you're up close and personal, and you don't want to go to here or press H, you just press the spacebar. You hold it. Oh, let's get out of here, actually. Okay, now press spacebar, and just click and drag, and it's actually really helpful. Certain things you do. Okay, now I'm just going to delete this color, so I'm going to press X and B for our switch to foreground layers and my brush layer. There you go, I just deleted that. X. Okay, so now this is also very helpful. If you under the brush tool or eraser tool or something with the brush size, you can press right next to the P. There's brackets. You can click those and pressing the left one makes it smaller, making it right makes it bigger. I think that's very helpful if you don't want to right click or go all the way up here. I tend to right click and then just change it, but you can also just do this, which is I like. Okay, so now we got basics down. Oh, did I tell you about this one? Okay, if you press Control and press the minus. Oh yeah, wait. Never mind, not Control. If you press Control 0. Jeez, what's going on? Control 0. Yeah. Control 0, and that'll fit the projects onto your screen perfectly, so you won't have to double click this or do something. It'll be easier. It's equivalent. Control 0 is equivalent to fit screen. So if you ever zoom in really close and you want to go out, you can't have the magnifying glass on, apparently. Okay, so that's that. Now controls, other controls. Control Q. That just quits the After Effects. Not After Effects, Photoshop, sorry. Then Control E if you have multiple layers. You Control E and that merges them all. So merges the one with the under it, I believe. So yep. Now Control T. Control T, Control T, Control T. That one I use a lot, actually. I have to just do a new layer, actually. Now do Now Control T. Now that's Transform tool, and you can move around and you can change the scale, make it rotate it, and all that fun stuff. You have to press Enter and just get out of it, or you can do other stuff, but I usually press Enter because it's the easiest. Control U. A lot of people like that because it's hue and saturation, and it's really easy instead of going in layers and all that stuff. Image. Yeah, it's image. Okay, well, it's Control U. You can change the color of the hue of the project, saturation and lighting, all the fun stuff. Now you can click Control A. I do this when I copy and paste things, like if I do a certain picture, I copy it from a file and then bring it to here. People just click and drag the file into here, but I just make multiple projects on top here. then copy and paste. So I do Control A, Control C, and Control V, but we'll get to C and V later. Now, if you have something highlighted and you want to get rid of it, instead of doing the edit deselect or something deselect, it's edit, right? Or whatever. I usually do Control D, and that deselects anything that's selected. Pretty self-explanatory. Okay, now Control Z. That's the undo button. Control Z, it goes back one step, and if you press it again, it goes back to the original, not original state, but if you go back from going back, so you're back to before you go back, if that made sense. But I'll give an example. Okay, I made two little lines. Control Z, it undoes. Do Control Z again, and it reappears because you undo your undo, so it's back to original. Now, if you want to get rid of both things, you do Control Z and then Alt, or Control Alt Z, then deletes the one step, and you can press it again, and it keeps going back and back and back. This is from before the tutorial. Okay. Now you do Control C, but you have to select something to actually know for it to copy. Like, if you use lasso tool, you can do Control A. So you can Control C. And then I'm going to create a new project. Now I'm going to do the next thing is Control V. And that pastes the thing you copied. So now here's a thing I should have just told you. Now you can press this thing called Control N. And that just brings up a new project. So this is projects. Let's say that's fine. Press OK. And there you go. So this is my top keyboard shortcut keys. This is what I use a lot and what you guys will probably most likely use. Some other ones, but I didn't think they were as important, so I left those out. So see ya, and thanks for watching.